Hey, it's your boy the Crypto Goon, and shout out to all my crypto goons for pulling up once again. This one's for all my Zebecians. Let's hop right in. Now, what we're looking at is a Zebec network. I talked about previously. If you watch all of my old videos, I predicted this move down. Obviously, because of the hype, the FOMO, social media. The whales, they know once it gets super hyped on social media, they take profit, and then people get dunked on and become liquidation for the smart players. Now we had a move up, and with this move up, we quite didn't reach a new high or touch the previous highs. Now this is a popular or a consistent pattern that I've seen in trading period, not just cryptocurrency, which I'm on Forex, stock market, whatever. You make a low and then you make a lower high. Okay. So from here, I'm looking for a bullish momentum. And if we can get a low like this, which I believe that we will break below this and come in this area, and followed by a move up. If not, we will get a lower low, okay, followed by a move up like this, okay? Now, this is just how these markets move. It is what it is. Now, obviously, we're waiting for the bull run to kick off. If you're somebody that's new to cryptocurrency, generally what happens is Bitcoin goes crazy, right? That's the first one. It goes crazy. Followed by Ethereum. That goes crazy. And once people see Bitcoin and Ethereum, which for the average person, they look at it and say, okay, these things aren't that affordable. $118,000, $42,000, $45,000, $5,000 if it reaches that high. So they start jumping down and putting a bunch of money into, along with the institutions, which the institutions will be the front runners. They're going to do it first into, the top 200 or so altcoins. And then we start seeing them all move up. They all reach new all-time highs. The big players, they liquidate. The small hands, they get stuck holding the bag and they lose money. Okay. So with that being said, I'm looking for one of these two positions with Zebec network, depending on the price action. Now you can watch my old videos. I was able to nail this one to the T in my older videos. So with that, it really all depends, because I'm looking for a situation like this. Let me take some of these lines off. I'm looking for a situation where we, possibly make a triangle pattern like so, and we get a move down and then a bounce up, or it could just completely liquidate again, like I said, and we come down to the 618 retracement. So as of right now, me personally, I like to make money both ways. So I'm going to be using BTCC. BTCC is an exchange, but they also offer futures trading. So as you can see here, if I go to the perpetual futures and I scroll down right here, Zebec network, ZBCN, USDT. So for something like that, in the position that we're in, I would, open up a short and take profit around the area of right here, in this area right here, just because I like making money both ways. Now I do have Zebec. It's actually stored on my Trezor. So, I buy the coins when we hit lows, and I also, buy them when it's going up. That's just me. But I also, anytime it's going down, always hedge what I'm doing by putting short positions. I was using Kraken on the spot market, but futures has more leverage, so you can make more money as these things go up or down. That's just a skill set that I have. I'm not telling you to do that. Any type of trading, you're 9 times out of 10 going to lose your money if you don't know what you're doing. And even in cryptocurrency, most people lose their money because they don't know what they're doing and they do not take profits. All right. Cryptocurrencies are a different beast than the stock market. A lot of people bring a stock market mentality to crypto, which, long term, right? If it has long term utility, they do pretty well. We've seen a lot of them do pretty well, right? Whether it's XRP, whether it's Bitcoin, which doesn't have any real utility, it's fucking trash. But it is a store of value. So I'll give it that. Solana, there are a few others, right, that we've seen that if you hold on to a long term, they did very well. I'm going to use the spot market to fund my lifestyle. But, since I found this platform, I am going to use it to, fund my lifestyle, if that makes sense. Now, BTCC is also regulated in the United States. And As you can see here, BTCC is regulated in the United States. It is registered with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN. This registration allows BTCC to operate as a cryptocurrency exchange within the U.S. legal framework. Additionally, BTCC holds licenses in Canada, which is called the FinTrack registration, and Europe MFSA license, demonstrating its commitment to regulatory compliance across different jurisdictions. Now, I mentioned in my last video that I was looking for other exchanges outside of Coinbase, outside of crypto.com, outside of, the big ones in America. The reason being, when these things hit all-time highs, right? And this is one of the reasons why I tell people to take their money off of exchanges and use like a Trezor or whatever wallet, external cold wallet you want to use. When they hit all-time highs, if you remember during the pandemic, they put a halt to trading. So a lot of people couldn't take profit. A lot of people couldn't transfer or sell their coins, right? It just wasn't happening because of, that maybe they just didn't have the liquidity. They couldn't handle the volume. But when you have it on a cold storage wallet, you can go say, let me go to Coinbase. They're going to have this banner up. Trading has been halted, right? You go to, what's the other one? Robinhood. Trading has been halted, right? So you can go from exchange to exchange to exchange until you find one where trading isn't halted. And then you can move from your cold wallet to the exchange and liquidate it and take money off the table, which is the smartest thing to do, which most people never do. That's why we're here, to make money, not to just brag and boast that, oh yeah, I have these coins, this coin, that coin, not like lock in your profits. Okay. This is not financial advice, but I'm telling you why the majority of people do not make money in cryptocurrency. But again, Zebec network, I'm looking forward to come down some and then possibly look for moves for it to go up. But I like to make money both ways. That's just my style. All right. Well, anyway, I appreciate you all tapping in. It's Crypto Goon, the one, never the two. Shout out to all my crypto goons and my Zebecians. I can't forget you. Crypto Goon out.